Hello, possibility seekers. Welcome back. I've got a great guest for you today. Her name is Patrizia Calvio, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. She is the CEO of Deliver Your Style and a veteran style expert with over 30 years of experience with a passion for empowering women specifically, but individuals at large. Her journey began in her childhood, assisting her parents at their family clothing business, where she developed an early appreciation for quality and refining her eye for style. Moving to London, Patrizia worked as a manager at luxury destinations like Harrods, we all know Harrods, where she excelled in providing personalized styling advice and building long-term client relationships. Driven by her desire to make a positive impact, Patrizia also founded Deliver Your Style, a company that embodies her belief that true style is an expression of individuality and confidence. Recognizing the need for more sustainable and conscious consumption, she established her Deliver Your Style sustainable showroom, which you'll see behind her right here, a haven for curated pieces. Patrizia empowers clients through personalized styling services, including the closet editing technique that she has, guiding them through building a sustainable wardrobe that reflects their unique style and values. Patrizia's philosophy is rooted in the belief that true style is an expression of individuality and confidence. She empowers her clients to deliver their unique style and make a positive impact in the world. Welcome, Patrizia. ¿Cómo stai?
Yay! Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me to endless possibilities.
Endless fun. By the way, I want you to know that I'm wearing one of the many jackets that I bought at the showroom with Patrizia. This beautiful red leather, for those of you who can see me on YouTube, beautiful red leather jacket is just one of my favorites. And every time I wear it, people are like, oh, such a great piece.
Thank you. My God. Thank you for inviting me. I'm super happy to be here. And we always like to wear something that makes us feel good. This is the goal. This is the goal. And I'm excited to share anything that I can share with your audience.
Absolutely. So, just to give some background for the people listening, so Kendra and I went down to see Patricia's showroom, which she calls the Speakeasy, right? You call it the Speakeasy?
Yes.
Kind of cool. And we had given her, she had asked for very specific measurements of both of us and images and pictures of us dressed in other clothing to get a sense of our style, a sense of our measurements. Asked us a whole onboarding questionnaire, right? So she was perfectly ready for us to have clothes that reflected our styles and our sizes. So there was a pile of, well, not a pile because it was very well curated and beautifully laid out. One section for Kendra and one section for me. And I can't tell you, I walked away with shoes, boots, jackets, tops, and all of this wonderful stuff. So did Kendra, and it all looked super curated, personal, professional, and very much our own unique style. And then we browsed through the showroom and found some more goodies. So anyway, summarize for the audience your business, how and when and why you started it, so we can get some context.
As you described it, when I was young, I was driven for the passion that my parents had, and I was building constantly passion through helping them, taking care of their clients, loyalty, building a clientele all the time. And for me, it was super important that people were feeling safe and were coming to see us weekly, monthly. And so I always had the entrepreneur sense of yes, exactly, in my blood. And so, I never lost the focus. So going to experience London, New York with all the beautiful experiences that I had until 2008, I decided to, after all the journey, to open my own business. And starting with private clients, exploring different store in the cities, boutiques. It was always challenging to just go everywhere around and trying to find the right pieces for my clients. For me, it's super important that I remember an episode where, for myself, when people tell me, "Oh, you tall, you can wear anything," It is absolutely wrong. It's all about the proportions. It's about like body type, and I was like. I was looking for something for my birthday. It was like wandering around, like I was super stressed, and I couldn't find dresses that fit me in a way that I wanted. So at the end, I love doing outfits. So I put together an outfit that it made me feel good, and and then all of a sudden I kept thinking to build something that will help not like the a wide range of clientele and personality and body types. Then in 2020, in the middle of the pandemic, when the world stopped, I decided to convert this beautiful studio into a speakeasy style sustainable showroom where the sources of items are different. Sometimes when I go travel to Italy, I purchase items that I think they might be good in my collection, especially because in Italy I find more good fabric, cotton, viscose. It's just challenging to find the quality around nowadays. So then I kept building these pieces from everywhere, from also a beautiful source that I have through also a charity that I run that I will introduce to you. So there are different sources that I have for helping my client here.
So, how do you approach building a sustainable wardrobe that blends contemporary and designer pieces with more classic styles and timeless investments?
I always suggested to invest in exactly timeless pieces uh, that can help you to play around with your closet. Exactly, that beautiful jacket is super strong, super beautiful and powerful. And like well fitted jacket and shirts. I personally love blazers. So then every time you just wear something simple, and even then you pop up like through a blazer and you feel very confident. But there are so many different ways to be playful, but definitely implement strong, long life pieces with new also every season. Of course, I encourage, that's why I have a variety behind me, I encourage clients to add some new pieces, but focus on on the trend at the moment, but focus on what really reflects your body type and personality. And even behind the body type, it's really important that you feel confident with what you wear.
What is the trend that you're seeing in terms of relative to fast fashion? What's your point of view on that?
That is very painful for the environment. The constantly fast fashion is adding daily new pieces, and there is you can see them in social media all the time, TikTok, Instagram. It's nothing bad to introduce a new pieces, a new offer to your audience, but at the same time, what are you offering? It's and they create even more competition and more fast food and fast items all the time. And are you okay with fast food? I at some point one day, and then after that, especially, I mean, I'm very proud to be Italian for this sense. I love good food. You know,
For me, it's a waste of calories and a waste of energy because honestly, I feel terrible when I have it. Once in a blue moon, someone will say, "Oh, let's go." We're on a road trip, and somebody else, with the kids want to, we used to want to stop somewhere. I would feel so miserable for hours and hours and hours. I'm like, this isn't worth it, and I don't think fast fashion is worth it either. If that's all you do,
right, exactly. Just again, add a few playful pieces. That's fine. You have to be able to mix and match your low and high end pieces. That's unique style. That's what you have to focus on.
So do you think fast fashion is taking hold, or do you think that people who are a little bit, well, again, I don't want to discern between people who know better and people who don't, but do you think it's for your core customer, fast fashion is not what drives them?
No, absolutely. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't work. That I'm not concerned. I mean, I'm concerned for the environment, of course. Going back to running a nonprofit charity, every month we help a community with thousand of items that would be otherwise on the landfill. And it's definitely anything that can help the environment has all my support, but then it doesn't. I don't feel that affects me and my core. I really love what I do. I really love what, for me, is a journey to embrace every single individual, every single client, their life. I go very personal, and then I love being like that. And again, it starts when I was a little girl, when my parents. I I really love taking care of people in a very specific way.
So what do you think is the most important component in finding what looks right or looks good or works for somebody? And then I'll talk about my own journey when I went through the process with you and how I felt in terms of usage and things like that. But how what do you think is the most important component?
But the most important component is really understand your personal style, which is the most challenging. Even it sounds easy, but it's the most challenging journey that a person can have in any ages, because we constantly are in evolution, we change. And at some point, it like I remember since really my journey when I was young, it was a point of life. I always had the awareness of no waste items, and not like a throwing item away. It just hurts my heart. Uh, also, it's not my lifestyle. So I always was finding friends or relatives that they will appreciate what I had, and I was keep the items moving, keep the items having a journey.
Let me explain what you mean by that and what I saw. So Patrizia would have pieces that would normally get quote unquote thrown out. Let's say they had broken buttons or they had they were beautiful quality, but the bottoms were wrong. So she would combine three pieces of clothing to make a unique piece of clothing that would be more or less what we call upcycled these days, right? And it would look it is a de facto a 100% unique piece that would have never exist in any store because she took three pieces of clothing that were disparate, different textures, fabrics, colors, whatever, and made them into this one beautiful signature piece of hers. So this is what she means by, reusing and recreating what is a new thing from things that were in the world before.
You actually introduce a part of what I do as well, because like some part of some selection of items are upscaled. Uh, that's art that I will consider, but definitely so many other items I have different sources as I explained. Yes. So definitely what we were saying, focusing in what's your style, and then again your personality, your lifestyle, what you do. You're more in business, in like everyday life, running like a mother that runs every day, like taking care of kids, and elevate your style every day, not only when is there.
So it's funny because I was talking to a friend of mine about you, and I have a couple of obviously friends who want to meet you, and that's great. And one of them said something interesting because I knew that this was the case. Oftentimes, I will speak to women that don't have a clear sense of their like style, right? So for me, I'm pretty clear. I have a sort of edgy European style that I've developed. I used to be much more traditional and much more preppy, if you will. And I've evolved into more, I would never worn these earrings 10 years ago. I would have never worn this jacket on with a black shirt underneath it a few years ago. So it's become a little more edgy as I've gotten older. So this one woman says to me, I don't really know my style. And I said to her, if you speak to Patrizia and you do her onboarding process and she asks you the questions you ask for, you will discover it.
Yes, Thank you, Monica. It just fill up my heart when someone that experience the journey of the styling session will pass along the information. Yes, it's a journey. First of all, it's super important building the relationship with your stylist. Great communication, listening. I love listening. I love listening. I always say to my clients, your no doesn't scare me. Your no directs me. Your no, like guides me to explore different ways of different opportunities. There are so many different styles. It's you literally the beautiful aspect of my styling session every time, as you say, I prepare all the different items on the bed, like a very well display, but combined on in outfits. And then I put on purpose a little bit farther away, something that will be interesting for the client to try. And right away they look at that, it's not close to them. And then and then at the end, when they start, they try the items, they get most of the time impressed. Sorry, impressed of how the items look on them.
Right. So that happened to Kendra. So we looked at the pants that you selected for her, and we looked at each other and we said, there is no chance that either one of us would have gone into a store and picked out that item. No chance. And they looked fantastic on her. Like they looked like they were tailor-made for her. And that was impressive. So anyway, let me get back to some of my questions because I want to unpeel some of your services for people listening and how building on our discussion of sustainable wardrobes, how can you help your clients maximize their existing wardrobes through services that you offer, like your closet editing services, ensuring they're making the most of their current investments before making new purchases, which is the point of your whole business. So tell us a little bit about this whole closet editing, how it works, how you do it, how far you will go to visit someone, et cetera, et cetera.
So the sometimes actually came all the way around when clients experience the styling session here in the sustainable showroom. They realize that a good percentage of the items in their closet they are not working for them anymore. They don't serve their purposes. That is important to understand. But again, it's like when we verbalize something, we put the words out there, we really have better awareness of what we are saying, what we have to work on. Same things. We do the process going to my client's house. We just start with obviously I have like an organization skills, and I consider myself a Tetris woman. And we divide everything by sections, by styles. Once we do that, we identify items that don't serve to my client's purpose anymore. But at the same time, you discover beautiful hidden pieces. Oh, I didn't know that I had that piece. And yes, I like a but. Okay, let's work on yes, I like a but. Let's create a new outfit. Let me give you ideas. Because we tend to get into the habit to wear the same items all over and over, the same combination as that. That's why you hire a stylist, right? And it's like I always give an example of it's like hiring a personal trainer. At some point, you have to be ready, of course. No, it's not for everybody, but once you're ready, the personal trainer will make you understand what you have to work on yourself, on your body, what you have to do, what encourages you to go to push yourself in a good way, like encourage you to go out of your comfort zone. Same things with the personal stylist. The business model that I created at the Sustainable Showroom, the beautiful aspect of that when I bring clients outside the showroom where they are looking for items they might not have in my inventory, could be couture, could be like high-end pieces they're looking for specific occasions. I do research and then I bring a client to the boutiques, handmade places, like hidden, like places that I know, and they obviously pay me by hours. They in that sense, and in the case, but then at the same, otherwise in here, the sustainable showroom, I offer them a complimentary styling service with a minimum purchase. Once to give obviously the awareness of, fortunately, is being very appreciated, and so that's something that gives me even more motivation to keep going and helping, my client, inviting them here, which is very cozy and very intimate as well. So then, once going back to the clothes editing that we were talking about, identify items that we can literally work and do something with them, or let them go, but in an harmonious way. If you feel you have this sentimental attachment, that's something different. Then I call it also wardrobe therapy, because I went there in the past several times. So they say, okay, let's have a conversation about that.
I really honestly, for me, and this is so funny because I consider myself, European, so of course I'm gonna be emotional. But for me, other than my wedding dress, there is nothing I'm emotionally attached to that would be clothing. I get attached to people, not things. Like, as when I moved from my house, like, my husband was all upset about the I was like, "It's okay because 'cause we're gonna have a better one next time. It's gonna be we're together." And it didn't really like, it doesn't I don't know. Mostly attached to a blazer? Shoot me. It's too much energy, like, who needs that? Like, if it doesn't look good on me, get rid of it. What is that, Marie Kondo your that shit? Right out. Like, just write the universe, "Thank you for your service, you're done now." Whoop.
Exactly. Well, years ago, I'd like read the book. They led the Santiago, like walk, like a Cammino di Santiago,
Oh,
like
yeah,
in
yeah,
Italian. Yeah, 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 yeah. And it's beautiful to symbolically, like I think, okay, I met you. I thank you. And now I keep moving. Thank you. You don't serve me anymore. But also the what I was saying before, give life to the items, meaning sharing the item with somebody else. I remember, I will never forget a friend of mine in the past, that I gave her some pieces. She was tall, she's still, fortunately, tall, and but she loved it. The items were perfect for her. She was carrying them with so much joy, and that's the item, they are having another life. It just see them on in the closet, still. For me, they are dead. The only thing that is dead for me is something static that doesn't have movement.
You know what's funny? My aunt, you used to be an executive, and she is a petite woman, and she gave me a Chanel or an authentic, real Chanel suit. Do you know that I still wear that jacket, and every time it's probably 40 or 50 years old, 40 years old. And every time I wear that jacket, people come compliment, and I wear it with jeans with like a funky belt. And it's just like this vintage piece with new age jeans and boots, and it is dynamite.
Exactly. Mix a contemporary with something that you be holding, like holding, keeping for your journey for a while. It's it is it and also it's important because to make even young people to understand that they get scared for the fact that they take pictures constantly, being on Instagram, on TikTok, and then they don't want to use their items anymore. Please, show them you are good in do anything else with the item, not only what you did, and mix and match, be playful, and also you approach new places. People don't know that you had a jacket for so long, and but it makes you feel so good that you carry with confidence, and that's what is the point. Just like I mean, how many times we use words that we be using for so many times? Do they know that we use them? They're part of our personality, our journey. as well as our closet that we love, right? We then bring them with us, and like not be attached as we said before, but make them do their job.
Right, exactly. So, how do women or some men, I think there's some men that hire you as well. How do they hire you to help them? So we talked about the coming to the showroom, the speakeasy, and getting styled in advance where you curate some things for people. And I believe your minimum was only 300, right? 300 to cover the cost of styling.
That's correct, yes.
So that would, I think that is completely and utterly reasonable because if you spend 300 or more, you don't pay for the styling set, which is great.
There is, Monique, just to give more people the opportunity to experience a styling session, because like a lot of people will never invest in styling, which is super important to hire a stylist. And it's super important. And that's why I created this business model to give more people the opportunity. And definitely, of course, when we find that so many great pieces, people exceed with not feeling uncomfortable. Also, because we didn't say that, running a charity nonprofit in the I run the event and all the volunteers once a month. We give thousand of items, and we rescue food, and we help so many communities in need. My business, Deliver Your Style, supports the charity nonprofit. So every time a client purchase items from the showroom, I raise money for the charity nonprofit. So we give 50% and they're tax deductible. So it's also like you style yourself, you make in you help and you and good cause. And it's a beautiful concept as well, and then doesn't make you feel uncomfortable. You have some extra pieces.
So, listen, guys, let me put a pin in this, right? So, understand if you're purchasing from Patrizia's showroom, as I did, as Kendra did, you're getting 50% of the value of what you paid as a tax deductible contribution donation to her charity, which is linked to her business model. So, just know that that's how we do it. Let me finish the thought about hiring you, and then we can move on to best and worst career advice you've ever been given. The other way people can connect with you is to hire you on a time basis and bring you into their space and have you give them new ideas for what they have and do a closet edit. That's another way that they can do it. So did I miss anything?
Definitely, like obviously, look, do your research on my website, deliveryourstyle.com, where you can actually see all the services that I have. I do also ship personalized curated boxes to anywhere in the US that we didn't mention. It's the same concept, but virtually. Like we are doing today, I prepare everything like in the same way that I did for you, Monique. But I do go through every single item, showing exactly how the items could fit, and give suggestions, tips, advice. When we ship the boxes, the clients have 4 days to try the items, and if something doesn't fit, they have the envelope ready. They're perfect for them to ship things back.
Perfect. So those of you who are outside of the tri-state area, no worries. You can still access Patrizia and her beautiful style and taste. And also, it's a better way to do curation of wardrobe styling. So anyway, so those are the ways. And again, deliveryourstyle.com is where you need to go for that. What is the best career advice you've ever been given, Patrizia?
Never stop learning. It's super important. Every single client is a new world to explore. Don't take it for granted. Embrace every single person, every single journey. There is a lot to discover behind a person, and helping people for me is also building strong relationships, and helping people through styling, and to make them feel confident and happy what they are doing in their life. So this is definitely the best.
What about the worst? I always ask this for CEOs of entrepreneurial companies, especially.
you are too old.
Oh,
You are too old. You should it is why you're doing this one at this time. It is I fortunately never put myself into a box in a structure. I like left Italy to experience London when I was over 30s. And then I left London starting from zero again in New York when after 30 and more. and, and so many, I love the one of your podcasts say that there are moments that you feel uncomfortable and you get when you stretch yourself a little bit more, right? And that's what is my personality actually. There is no I always like to stretch a little bit myself and learn new things, right? And this is super beautiful what I create, and I'm super happy that I can help so many people in so many different ways.
I would absolutely smack the person that said you're too old to do anything, first of all. Because, I mean, if you look at people that you could admire in the world, that you don't come out of the womb knowing things, you gotta learn them. And so if when you stop learning, you stop growing. When you stop growing, you start aging. For God's sake, people, you like that line? I just made that up. Ha. So you have to keep learning. You have to be curious, be intellectually curious. When you approach somebody with curiosity, you learn something. If you keep speaking, you already know what you're going to say. You're not learning anything. All right. So I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. And consider the person who said to you, you're too old to do anything, smacked from me. But anyway.
It was a general comment, not to myself, and then but it's and then the more people and one of the things actually that I heard also from you, I'm so in line, the more they tell me that I can't do something, the more they motivate me and say, "No, I'm gonna show you I can do it."
That's the immigrant in us. That's what we when I first got here and they were like, "Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do it." I was like, "Yeah, watch me, bitch."
Exactly. That gives me so much motivation. And they'll go back to the people that say that, they say, I show you.
Watch me. Yeah, I love that. So, if here's another one. My favorite question, which I ask everyone, this is one of my cornerstone questions, and that is, if you had a chance to talk to your 30-year-old self, the 30-year-old Patrizia, what would you say to her?
Well, definitely not to be too tough on yourself. It's incredible. I'm the worst of in be critical and tough. It since all my journey, I say no. You should do this one. You should do the more of that one. It's just like too too much critical. Be kind. Just be kind. But something that I have to keep reminding myself. That's what we often do. And actually, Monique, this is like when I encourage my clients to go a little bit out of their comfort zone, you are doing that to me because this is new.
Yeah, this is a new thing for you, right?
Yeah, so we do a lot of meetings, Zoom meetings and all, but you are going to present me with your audience, and this is something. Thank you for the opportunity. It's beautiful.
Sure, thank you. And to address that comment that you made, it is unfortunately quite common for women specifically to be quite critical of ourselves. And that is the reason why many therapists have booming businesses because we operate with so much more grace with others than we do with ourselves. And I talk about that in my book a lot. And that is give yourself grace, give yourself permission to fill in the blanks, to fail, to not be perfect, to make a mistake, to try new things. Give yourself grace because you are the person you are stuck with for the rest of your life. You may as well make a best friend out of it.
Right. Oh, you just mentioned a best friend. Treat yourself like in the way you would treat your best friend. Be kind, be compassionate. Yeah. I mean, I love all my friends and give yourself more love, more care, and compassion. Yes, definitely.
Self-care and self-love is not selfish. All right, any last words that you wanna leave the audience with before we conclude?
hire a stylist that will help you that will help you to understand your style and speak to others without saying words, and that build meaning building your confidence and your life.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Patrizia. I appreciate it and you. This was a great session. All right, possibility seekers, remember a few things. I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you thought of this episode. I want you to reach out to Patrizia. I want you to have the best styling and the best look that you could possibly conjure. She makes it super accessible and super easy. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, Madame, Mademoiselle. I will see you all soon. And please remember to subscribe. Bye-bye. Make it a great day. Thank you so much for listening to Possibilities with Monique de Maio, where we unpack life as a female mover and shaker. If you like the show, please consider liking it, or better still, subscribing to it and leaving us a rating. It truly does help. Also, you can pick up my book, The 7 Secrets to Creating a Life You Love, a practical guide for women in leadership. You can find the book, other episodes of this podcast, and how to stay in touch at moniquedemaio.com. DEMAIO. I look forward to seeing you again soon. With gratitude, Monique.